What's going on, everyone? Welcome, Rabid here, and in my garage I have a box, and this box is a very special box as it has one of the best Bitcoin solo miners in it. And we're going to take a look at this right now. All right, so here we have the Nerdoctaxe, so 9.5 or 6 terahash solo Bitcoin miner at around 140 watts or so. So we're definitely going to take a look at that power consumption and stuff. And this was sent out courtesy of Power Mining. And I do love Power Mining stuff. They brand all their stuff. When you get something from Power Mining, you know it's from Power Mining. Links will be down in the description. So as for packaging, we can see everything is packaged very nice, good and tight, nothing can slip or break. So I'm going to pull this all out and then we'll actually have a look at this Bitcoin solo miner. All right, so here we can see we got a nice little sticker pack. Those are looking pretty nice, but here's something I really want to take a look at. If we look on the Octa.Space here, this plug connector looks like an XT60, which I believe is what you use for solar arrays. So I don't know if that's a power mining thing, because I'm pretty sure a lot of the other ones that I've seen use what are they called, like a barrel plug and stuff. So very interesting to see, or maybe it's USB-C, I can't remember 100%, but it's very interesting to see, solar array plugs, XT60. Now I'm not 100% sure looking on the power side coming into here. The only reason why I'm kind of familiar with the XT60 plug is because I'm kind of looking at those Blue Yeti or Blue Eddy or whatever they're called, kind of solar power backup banks. So, and this is the plug that they use to charge. So let me know down in the comments section if you can confirm or deny if that's what this plug is. Now, coming into the power supply, this is looking like a 216 watt power supply, 12 volts and 18 amps times the two together, and you'll get your 216. And this is supposed to be around 140 watts, so everything is well within rated ranges, as well as if this is XT60, this thing is good for a lot of power, and you definitely do not have to worry about anything melting. So if that is a power mining thing, like I said, I love their power mining products, and they like to put their little take on things and make things, pretty heavy duty. On top of that, this thing is a pretty heavy stand that it comes on, and it also has a fan in the back to blow against the back of the board. So you can kind of see that up front. I'm not sure the size of these fans, but it is a full 120 millimeter, even possibly 140. No, I think that's probably about a 120. I'm going to measure them actually to know for sure on the size of that fan. All right, so for the front fans, we do have 90 millimeters, and the one in the back here that blows onto the back of the board, it is 120 millimeters. All right, so before we jump into that setup process, I do want to point out this on the back here. It says that the stand concept in the bottom right corner, you can see somewhere on X there, so you can actually find out where they got the stand and who made it. But that's pretty sweet, and we can see the air kind of going into here where the fan does suck that, and then turning it around, we can see obviously the front here, and then again there is that power connector. So I'm gonna plug in the power. This should be 2.4G Wi-Fi only. These do run off Wi-Fi, no Ethernet plugs or anything, so make sure you do have 2.4G available. So I'm gonna get this plugged in, plug in our power there, and try to get connected to our network. Now as for my Wi-Fi, you can see a cable running up to there, and it's going to this Ngenius kind of Wi-Fi cloud computing ordealio here. So this is my Wi-Fi here, so I have something nice and close. So I have constant, nice Wi-Fi coverage over my rigs that require Wi-Fi. Now I also got their newer one here, the indoor wireless access point, which I'll look at in a different video, but it also is a PoE adapter. That's obviously how you power it and everything. So we'll check this one out. It has Wi-Fi 7 and everything. Too advanced for these Bitcoin miners as they only need 2.4, but if you have super fast internet network connections, obviously this better upgraded one is great because it has such much higher bandwidth capabilities within it. All right, so once you do fire it up, you come into here and you will see it's telling you the SSID of the network. So you're gonna have to connect your network through your phone or something to this right here. And if we come down into here, you can see the BitAxe is right here, Nerdoctaxe I mean. So we got the Nerdoctaxe. I'm going to log into it and then we'll set up our actual rig. All right, so coming in here, if you can't get into it, it's pretty simple. If you go to the browser and nothing's popping up or something, obviously, because there's no internet connection, you can go into settings here. There's your settings, and then go to manage router, whatever you want to do. And you can see down there the IP. It is 192.168.4.1. You can put that into your phone or just click what I did and you said it'll bring up everything here. So what we got to do now is put in our settings. So we're going to go to settings here, and we're going to put in our host name. So this will be where you put your router information, pool mode, what you're going to use for your pool and stuff. In this case, I'm going to be setting up my own personal Bitcoin node to mine to. That is where all my other solo miners are mining. So I'm going to put in all the parameters I need for that, and we are going to be mining to my own node in this. All right, guys, so I do have this turned on, and we can see we instantly got hash rate already. We're sitting around 9.7 terahash, so that's awesome. And if you look at the top here, there's an IP. That's the IP of your network that this is on. That's what you would also use to add this into your Hash Watcher app. So it is available on Android now, so I got that. If we come into here, we can see I just loaded it up, and we have a new best difficulty from the Nerdoctaxe, 7.93 Gs. So that's awesome. Let's hit the awesome button. So now we're going to add a new miner to this. So coming into here, I'm going to hit the plus button, and then we're going to be using Bitaxe for this. And now we can scan the network or put in our name and IP address. So here I am going to put in the name and the IP. All right, so here you can see I put in the name, Nerdoctaxe, I put in the IP, and I turned on the solo miner. Now I'm just going to hit the connect button, and it should find it. Unlock premium features. We can see it says block found, all this good stuff. I don't have any of that, so we'll just go. There's a new update available. Anyway, I just want to go to my miners here and see if this did get added. So I'm going to have to wait a little bit and see. So far, it doesn't look like it is. I probably shouldn't have left. I might have to redo it. All right then, so it's not that I had an error, it's just that with the free version of the app, you can't track too many. You can only go up to 1 Brains, 2 Bitaxe, and 2 Canaan miners on the free version. So you're actually going to have to pay to get any more miners. So that actually kind of sucks. All right, so we are rocking about 9.8 terahash right now, if that focus, 9.7 now. So 9.7, 9.8, and as for our power consumption, it is looking like, okay, around 200 watts. So that's a lot more than the 140 I thought it was going to be. So we're at 200 watts. It could be because of the extra fan and stuff. So we'll have to take account for that. I'm going to check to see if we're detected at the pool. We should be, but before I do that, I do want to point out that we can see there's a 15 amp fuse right there. This does come obviously with an extra fuse and an Allen key if you got to do any type of maintenance on this. And one other thing I do want to point out is I'm pretty sure these are thermal take coolers and fans. Now, thermal takes are really cheap, but they are very good. Their heat sinks are amazing, especially on my CPU mining rigs. The only downfall I really don't like about thermal take is their fans have a high rate of failure. I have a bunch on my CPU rigs that I did have to replace. Here's just one as an example. I got some off-ball. These are AAA wave fans here, but these are all thermal take coolers, and they cool amazingly. It's just that they have a high failure rate on their fans, so you might want an extra fan as a backup moving forward. But so far, you know, things have been looking pretty good, at least on my first Nerdoctaxe I do have here, wherever it is. Yeah, this guy right here, also from Power Mining. They have everything. Got Power Mining from there. We got some Power Mining single gamma right there. So obviously they got a lot of solo Bitcoin miner stuff as well as big ASICs. Links in the description, but here another thermal take type of fan, and so far this has not failed. So maybe these ones are a little better than what I got on the CPUs. We'll see. But right now let's check the pool and see if we do have hash rate over there and what our efficiencies are looking like. So here we are at my public pool for my node. Scrolling down and we can see Nerdoctaxe is detected here, and it's saying currently it got 1.63 million for a best difficulty. We're sitting at about 11.6 terahash. But what's interesting is it's not popping up as the Nerdoctaxe. Well, it's not a Nerdoctaxe, but it's not popping up as open source. So I don't know if there's something new going on there, or they're using a closed source type of hardware inside of it this time. So I don't know. You think it would be open source? Maybe it's going to take some time to update for that, but I'm pretty sure these were instant when that happened. Anyway, maybe there's a firmware update or something we got to do. But for the most part, another interesting thing, if we come in here, we can see it was detected just now. Just now, all the rigs are working. Remember the app for Hashwasher said we did find a new best difficulty of 7 point something G, where here it's still saying our best difficulty is 3.14. And obviously, we need to try to find a share that's the same difficulty as the network difficulty, which is 1.46.47 trillion. We're a long ways away, but don't let this discourage you, even if you haven't had one. The next share could be that. It doesn't matter. As long as you find the share that finds the block, that's all that matters in this case. But yeah, we can definitely see the hash rate spiking here. We're at about 30 terahash total. Can we see my actual total hash rate though? Yeah, I guess it'd be right here. So we can see up, down here. So not quite there on this screen. But for the most part, yes, we are detected. We're rocking away. We are mining Bitcoin to our own solo Bitcoin node. And hopefully we do find that block at 0% fees. So when it comes down to efficiency levels, I don't have a sheet for everything here. The only real comparison I have set up, it looks like, is the Nano 3S. I'm going to put a spreadsheet together, sometime throughout the week of all just the solo Bitcoin miners. That way, when new ones emerge, I can do this comparison. But right now, versus something like that was very popular, the Nano 3S was a very popular solo Bitcoin miner. We can see we're doing about 48.5 watts. Efficiency is 48.5 gigahash per watt of power being used, which is more efficient than the Nano 3S in both high and medium at 42 and 46, but a little less efficient than it in low power mode. But in low power mode, it's only doing 3.51 terahash. So for 9.7 terahash at 48.5 watts, it does look like this is a pretty nice efficient miner for the home miners here. And coming in at 200 watts, this shouldn't break your power bill. So you should be able to run this long term, at least until it explodes. Who knows what the lifespan is? So far, I haven't seen any blowing up, but that is, beg to differ until see what happens. All right, guys. So that does wrap up this video. So if you are looking for one of these Bitcoin solo mining beasts, be sure to check that link in the description over to Power Mining. I'll see you on the next one. Rabid out.